Hello, it's time for another mail video. I know I've done one of these a little recently, I think in July, but I've received quite a bit of mail since then, and I keep reorganizing and misplacing stuff, and I want to make sure I don't lose anything while I'm in the middle of that. So I just want to do it right now. I'm also going to make this a little different in that I'm going to open things in order of smallest to largest, just because there's quite a disparity between those this time. So let's get started with a package from Bronson in New York. These are really nice to get for me. These are the rocker switches for a Selectric Model 1. And Bronson saw in my typewriter correction video that I was missing them and was able to offer me some to repair the Selectric one I have, which just is really awesome. A huge thank you for that. I really look forward to putting these on it. Up next is a package from Vlay in Helsinki, Finland. Okay, so we have two things here. One of these was an extra, and that would definitely be this cassette. I don't know what this is, but based on this label, I'm pretty interested in this. It's number 9 of 10, it looks like. I don't read. I don't know if the language is Finnish or Norwegian. But yeah, oh, here we go. It was recorded in Helsinki. Okay. Ooh, I am really excited. I'll go ahead and put the J card in there. Let's give this a listen, because I'm curious what it sounds like based on the instrument choices on here. I think this could be really good. There's a note included that I missed in the box that explains it. He runs a small label, and this is one of his releases on that label, and it's an experimental electronic album. I am actually kind of a fan of this stuff, so I do really enjoy this. Thank you for sending it as extra. If it's something you like as well, they have a Bandcamp page that I'll go ahead and link in the description. Now, these were the main items that were being sent, and I'm really fascinated by these. Obviously, it's educational material for programming, but where it gets really interesting is the age. September 1971 for HP Educational Basic. This is just incredible. This is so much earlier than, say, any home computer would have been, and this is just really cool to see. The two-color print, black and red, and just... oh wow, this is really, really awesome to see. I'm super happy to have this. I'm going to enjoy looking through this and seeing stuff like that for 2100A computers. Ooh, it'll be a wish list of things I won't be able to afford. But these are both really interesting. The other one is a basic reference card, and if we flip it over, printed in USA 970. This is from 1970. Oh man, this is just so cool. These are really awesome. Oh yeah. So how to punch a punch card. I mean, just wow. These rock. Another fun thing that was in this is at the beginning, it shows you how to draw logic flowcharts when you're programming, because this is absolutely your source code documentation format for this time period. Here's something else that I picked this up on my own after traveling to VCF West, because I saw these in the Vintage Computer Museum and figured there must be a ton of these, so this seems like a good time to show this. This is a flowcharting template card that you would use for an IBM System 360. This shows you how you would write your source code as a human readable form, because it's difficult to just instantly understand program organization in something even as simple as basic. You would still want to use flowcharts because it makes so much more sense for a person to look at. So yeah, this is just really cool to see, because this is a significant history for computer programming. Just, oh wow, this rocks. Seriously, thank you for sending this and the cassette. I'm probably gonna pop that in after I'm done and give it a more thorough listen. So, oh yeah, this thing's really cool. The next package comes from eTax in Burton, Trent, UK. I'm sure I made a mess of that. Alright, there's a little bit more in this package than I thought there was going to be. Thank you, eTax. I really appreciate this stuff. I thought we had talked about just a small amount of RAM, because I don't have any real amount of memory like that, and he was able to include so much more, including some really, really unusual ones. Look at that odd looking one there. I'll dig into this later. It's pretty well contained right now. Yeah, oh, whoa. What? There's some strange RAM in this. Yeah, that'll really be worth looking through. Anyway, in addition to the memory, which I hope most of these have survived, this one, the solder mask is peeled up on there, but the traces underneath look good, and that's also interesting. They gold tinned the whole thing. Those aren't copper traces that are exposed. But anyway, in addition to the memory, we have a Cyrix DX2 486 clone, and I don't know, honestly, that's probably a really good way of shipping that processor, because it's not going to go anywhere if it's in a socket. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me, so that was not a bad idea. Let me hope I can get this back in there. At least I don't have to worry about the correct orientation if the socket isn't on a motherboard. Anyway, and then the surprise AMD 8085, that's pretty cool. I don't exactly remember what that is. I assume it's going to be a reduced version of the 8086, meant for more embedded type solutions, but I don't fully remember, so don't quote me on that. But that's really cool. I don't think I have anything with one of those in that in it. And then the calculators, I was only aware of the FX 140 here, but the FX 101 is a very welcome addition. Both of these come with manuals and cases and are just, oh, so pretty. This FX 101, I'm pretty sure, is much older. Battery compartments, it looks okay, but it's really dirty. It's rather odd. I haven't had much luck in finding dates in calculator manuals, so I don't think I'm going to be able to date them that way. But these are definitely really cool. Thank you for sending these. It's not common to find these with the cases, and those are in really good shape. So, yeah, he mentioned in the note that he hopes that they still work. I'm pretty sure they're going to work. I'll want to spend a little bit more time on them, cleaning them up, just to make sure that nothing's going on inside with how oddly dirty that one is. This one might be fine. It's got a little bit of that going on too. So, oh, there is some battery corrosion in there. So yeah, I won't want to power these on immediately. I'll want to make sure that they're fully clean and safe before I do that. But thank you for sending those in. I really have needed some of that memory, so that's going to be very, very useful. Thank you. Up next is a package from Jeremy in Arkansas. Jeremy sent two things in here. One of them is this ST157A, which is an IDE drive. It's a very early IDE drive. See if we can get a date code off of a part somewhere. 91, it looks like. And he was having some trouble getting this working, so hopefully I will be able to figure it out once I'm able to put a little bit of time into it. I can see a couple of minor things. This is bent, this pin here's bent, but I don't see anything that should have killed it. I did see it was notched here to fit a more modern IDE cable. It's possible that there are multiple layers. Yeah, we can see along the edge here, it's a multi-layer board, so it's not impossible that the layers could be shorting in the notch, but I don't really think that that would have happened. But it's definitely worth taking a look at getting this thing repaired. If I remember right, he said it's a 140 megabyte drive, so it's going to be pretty large for what it is. So that's pretty cool. Thank you for sending this in. And the other thing is Red Hat Linux 5. The numbers got recycled after they changed to Red Hat Workstation, and this is actually an older one. So this is pretty cool. What really caught my eye on this is, as I've mentioned in previous mail videos, I'm trying to find Linux games for older versions of Linux, and this one comes with a games pack that includes Doom and Tetris. Now, Doom has the full trademark, Tetris not so much, so I don't know if that's a Tetris clone, but getting fully licensed Doom on here would be really, really cool. So this looked like it was very complete. We have lots of cool stuff in here. Yep, disc 2, which will have games. So yeah, this is going to be really fun to check out. Thank you for sending this in, as well as the hard drive. The next package comes from Matt in Bangor, Maine. I probably messed that one up too. Matt also has a YouTube channel, The Rattle Bunny's Den, and has sent this in, but this isn't quite heavier than an MFM hard drive now, is it? Well, that's because it's one of two packages, and the other one is this. Let's start off with the small package here first. A boxed copy of States and Capitals on cassette for the Atari 400 and 800. I think the Atari computers had just some of the absolute best box art ever. It really gives the Magnavox Odyssey 2 a run for its money. But there's a little bit more going on here. Before we take a look at this note, let's open the other box. Oh man, that is really awesome. a boxed Atari 800. Oh wow. I gotta get this thing open. Oh man, how cool is that? Oh, power adapter, because these old Ataris always use something weird for power. Oh, this is so awesome. Oh man, a really big thank you for that. This is really cool. Oh, manual. Color manual. Fancy. Oh, I gotta feel this much better keyboard than the 400. Okay, I have Atari XEs and the XEGS. This keyboard blows those away, hands down. This is so much better. Oh, wow. Yeah, they did it right. Let's see, these pop off here easily? No, I'll explore that later. That's really cool. I was not aware of this being in there. That is super cool on its own as well. Oh, Pro Audio Spectrum. Cool. Oh, wait, hold on. Got one of those right there. Just coincidentally. Yeah, this is all cool stuff. And here's the included note. Oh man, it's really nice. Thank you so much for sending this in, and yeah, just thank you. The next two packages weren't really shipped. They're already out and in the open, and I'll show them to you after we put pins on the globe, but that's because they were offered to me in person when I went to Vintage Computer Festival West in Mountain View, California. Now, as I also mentioned, I'm opening these in the order of least to most weight, essentially, really. And, well, we just opened an entire boxed Atari 800, so as you can guess, these are a bit heavy. This next one actually comes from Jared in Pleasant Hill, California. And this is what Jared gave me, an AT&T 6300. Although it isn't really, because it's actually an Olivetti inside, but that's something that we'll look at when we get to this a bit later. Unfortunately, I don't have this on right now because it seems the power supply is bad. At least that's what I've been advised. I haven't been able to put a lot of time into testing this yet. I just got back from picking this up, so it's still pretty new to me. But it has a lot going on that is very interesting. That is a green monochrome screen. It has both floppy drives. It has 8 ISA slots in the back, although one is for the very proprietary monitor connection, and the other one is a card that just says AT&T, so I'm not quite sure what that is. It looks like a serial port, but it has a serial and parallel port on board, so it's kind of interesting. The keyboard is a proprietary interface. It's very likely just a different form factor of XT, but I don't know that at the moment. And, well, that's about all I know for right now. I am going to be diving into this at some point to try and diagnose it, but for now, I just have to look forward to that. Definitely, thank you for sending this my way. I really do look forward to giving a shot at fixing it. And the last items are from Foon in Milpitas, California. And the most heavy mail, probably for now and ever, 2 IBM Model B typewriters. These are both pretty interesting, and both something I did not have. So in my typewriter correction video again, you had seen my IBM Executive Model B, which is a proportional letter spacing typewriter that is just absolutely fascinating. But these are very, very different. First off, let's just take a look at this one. This is a typical IBM Model B, which was the second revision after the original Electrostat model was rebranded to IBM. So this would be the first true IBM typewriter. But it has, well, it's just got a lot different than my Executive. The ribbon slider here allows you to select 4 positions on the ribbon that you can strike. And it's very interesting. As I mentioned, this is using a ribbon, whereas my Executive is using a film spool, like you can see here. Now, this one is also interesting because it's using a ribbon, but has the film spool mechanisms on it. It can do either. I haven't seen one of these configured like that yet, but I always suspected it was possible. It would be really cool if I could retrofit parts onto my IBM Executive from this one to make it both a ribbon and film typewriter, but I don't know about that. Anyway, this one's got a whole other trick up its sleeve. It's not English. This is a Taiwanese language typewriter. Now, the character set for Taiwan, the Taiwanese language, is radically different, and therefore it doesn't likely have, I'm not sure because I don't know this character set, it won't have uppercase characters, and instead, when you hold shift, which will not come back up, it would change between 2 different rows of characters entirely. Now, each of these typewriters have very, very bad problems. First off, this one thumps, but it does work for the most part. It's just that some letters stick, so it's not doing the best. I couldn't get it to return, so I don't know what's going on there, and space is inconsistent, to say the least. Now, this one, on the other hand, has a lot of problems going on. If I come over here and manually move one hammer, you'll see it advances one character, but the same does not happen over here, so I'm not sure exactly what's wrong with this one, but it is likely severe if it's that far into it. Now, there are some other significant differences. Look at the line spacing on the sprocket for the platen here. So this one is a much shorter font. They're just really cool. The non-English language typewriter is probably very rare, but I don't know if it's worth attempting to restore. I mean, I'm missing the shroud that goes over the donor spool, the new spool area, and the complete shroud that goes over the right hand controls for, you know, impression depth and things like that. This one, it's just it's really not doing the best. So yeah, I don't know what it's going to take to get it going again, but yeah, but these are still tremendously cool. This one's at least a different color than the other typewriter. The typewriter colors, that's a whole story on its own. But these are both really, really cool to see. So a huge thank you for that. At the absolute minimum, I will get usable parts to restore my IBM Executive a little bit more. Well, that's it for now. Seriously, a huge thank you to everyone who sent something. You guys are just awesome. I really do appreciate it. But that is it for the moment. If anyone else wants to support the channel, you can find me on Patreon, but for now, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this mail video, and I'll see you next time.